Welcome back, and today is the first of our debates on the local mayor races happening here in Western Massachusetts. Today we focus on the race for mayor of West Springfield. First-term Mayor Greg Neffinger is debating his opponent, the former West Springfield Town Council President Ed Sullivan. They're in the middle of a Lincoln-Douglas-style debate, and Mr. Sullivan has the opportunity to ask the next question.
Thank you. During this campaign, I've had an opportunity to go door to door and chat with residents of West Springfield. An ongoing complaint I hear is your impulsive, non-inclusive decision-making. This has created long-term adverse consequences for our West Springfield families. Please take time now to explain to these very families why non-informed decision-making is in their best interest.
Well, once again, this is a farce that's been perpetrated by the City Council and by yourself. That in fact I do decision making alone. I know as an architect it's always done in all good decisions are made in collaboration. You don't read in the West Springfield Record, and if you could be a fly in the wall in the mayor's office, you'd see department heads there advising the mayor or chief financial officer on our budget, and Doug Mattoon about the new Dunkin' Donuts that's going in, the changes that were made there. I give a lot of support to my department heads, and we don't do any decisions in a vacuum. We make good decisions based on the information that we have. The City Council should take more time and talk to the mayor. I have an open door policy every Thursday. They can come and they can hear what we're doing and why we're doing it. They can feel free to ask questions, and a number of city councilors have. We're very proud of that we have a collaborative process, and department heads are happy with how we do that.
Rebuttal.
Well, having worked with you on a couple different projects, I can confirm that the residents' concerns are accurate. And I will promise to the citizens that as your mayor, it will be my intention to rebuild the trust in the mayor's office and include those who have so much to offer in the decisions to be part of the decision-making process in West Springfield.
Mayor Neffinger, your next question, please.
We've heard very little from my opponent about what kind of changes he would make to the city of West Springfield. 2 years ago, when I was going door to door, I found many problems that the citizens had about how our ball fields were horrible, our taxes were way too high, and that our infrastructure was deteriorating. We've put a lot of energy into these things, and I'm just asking my opponent, what kind of changes or what kind of criticisms did he have of the former administration that the people of West Springfield have, and what kind of changes would he make?
Well, I've already indicated one change relative to the decision-making process. I'd be more inclusive for all the residents to participate. I'd also bring our schools up to a level 1 school. Whether you live in the Tatham Hill section or down at Memorial Ave, I believe every parent wants their kid to be in a level 1 school, and every child deserves that right. I'd also put more feet on the street. We're going to protect our citizens. We're not going to continue this violent crime increase that's going on now. And what that'll do in turn will help our economic development by bringing more businesses into the community. Bringing them in, they want to live in a community that has level 1 schools and good public safety. And by virtue of that, once we bring them in, we can work on our infrastructure too.
Rebuttal.
Again, my opponent isn't giving any real solutions. One simple solution, my opponent tries to propagate this myth that somehow the mayor is not accessible. In fact, I have open door hours. I've had it for a year and 9 months. Anyone can come to my office. Very accessible. I'm here to hear the people's questions, and I'm here to solve those problems, many of them immediately. Whatever the issues are, we have a solution for it.
Mr. Sullivan, your next question, please.
Thank you. The mayor mentions fields and how he promised to clean them up and make them safer. Recently, fields in our community were closed twice due to finding hypodermic needles. These fields are where our children play and where our seniors walk. During your last election, you promised to improve the conditions of these fields. You have not kept this promise, along with many others. Please explain why you choose not to appropriate money to keep our fields safe for our families.
Well, once again, there's a myth there that somehow that we're not taking care of our fields. The new River's Edge Park was built. There's 3 new fields there. It didn't cost the town a dime. It was town-owned property, and with collaboration, we have done that. We're putting $185,000 this month into the Upper Tatham fields for a new drainage system. We bought the Elks property, which is endorsed by our Park and Recreation and our DPW heads. And as far as the hypodermic needles, this is an ongoing problem, something that people haven't talked about much, but there are issues with drug use in West Springfield. I'm working with Chief Camperciani. All the funding that he needs to take care of these, we're working on getting that to him.
Rebuttal.
If elected mayor, the fields and the safety of our community will be a top priority for me while I serve in office of the mayor. That's my pledge to the citizens of West Springfield.
Mayor Neffinger, your next question, please.
We saw recently with the City Council that they recently passed a resolution asking Captain O'Brien to be brought back to his office as a police officer. I'm just curious. I saw Mr. Sullivan in the audience there. He seemed like he was supporting the people who were asking to bring that back. Mr. Sullivan, do you still support bringing back Captain O'Brien to the police department?
Actually, I've never supported or not supported. I haven't not been involved in the investigation. I don't have any information relative to that. All I see is and know is what I read in the paper. I do know that you put the picture of the woman who was strapped in a chair in the newspaper and took this public. As someone who's worked with over 400 employees in different unions in 3 different states, I can tell you one thing: I will never air any sorts of situations in the public as you did, and I will never exploit a woman as you did by putting her picture in there. Shame on you for doing so.
Once again, Mr. Sullivan, you're trying to hype up things. I don't put pictures in the paper. I don't put pictures on the news. I don't have the ability to do any of that. The report was released and made public, partially because of the lynch mob that was there, that you were there with at the City Council, basically causing people to bring Officer O'Brien back. A picture's worth 1,000 words. That picture says exactly what happened. The mayor has to make the tough decisions, and you're not standing behind what you really ought to say for the future of the department of the West Springfield Police Department.
Okay, unless I hear otherwise, I think it's time for closing statements. Is that correct? I believe it is. So we're going to start off with closing statements for the candidates. Each candidate will get 1 minute for that closing statement, and by virtue of the coin flip, Mayor Neffinger goes first with his closing statement. Mayor?
Well, folks, I've been here for a year and 9 months, and it's been a pleasure, a great pleasure to be the mayor of the city of West Springfield. I'm asking for your vote again to bring me back again. You see the great things, the great changes that are happening in our town. Taxes lowered twice. We're also going to keep taxes down lower for the 3rd year. We're finding millions of dollars in savings in our health insurance. We hope to find $800,000 in trash, $500,000. Our new, we're finding millions of dollars in other line items that we're going to save, keep the taxes low. That was my promise to you. Better ball fields, more accessibility to the mayor. You have the ability to come to the mayor's office every Thursday. In the former administration, people found the mayor was not accessible. That's a promise I made to you. That's a promise I've kept. That in fact, the mayor's office is open to everyone. There's a myth out there that somehow the mayor is running things on his own. You can come to the mayor's office. You can ask the mayor any question, and I'll give you any explanation. I'm asking for your vote this November. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your mayor this last year and 9 months.
Mr. Sullivan, your closing statement, please.
Thank you. I believe we need to have absolute honesty in our government, especially in the office of the mayor. We need to build a culture that values straight talk and rewards integrity in all areas of government. My promise to you is I will move West Springfield to a better future. I'll have a completely transparent government. You won't have to come to my office between 12 and 3. You can make an appointment and come anytime you like. I pledge to work with each and every one that wants to get involved. I pledge to have each of our schools a level 1 school by the end of the 4-year cycle, and I pledge to improve public safety in our community, in our municipal buildings and our schools. I pledge to work on economic development to improve our infrastructure. I pledge to improve the quality of life for every citizen, whether it's a child, parent, or senior. These are my pledges to you. Please help me get started with these pledges on November 5th with your vote. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, that concludes our look at the race for mayor of West Springfield. Our thanks to the mayor, Greg Neffinger, and his opponent, former West Springfield Town Council President Ed Sullivan, for participating today. Of course, Election Day is next Tuesday, November the 5th. If you missed any of today's debate, you can watch it again on our website at wwlp.com. And tomorrow, we'll take a look at the race for the mayor of Chicopee. Thanks for joining us. You're watching 22 News. I'm Rich Teddemer.